sensational Oregon running back LaMichael James appears ready to play as the number 10 Ducks meet Colorado right now.
Kurt here, back again. Had a 2.5-hour commute home tonight. There was a fatal accident on the 405. Nice capper for a brutal week. So, cracked open a beer to celebrate. Not because it's Friday night, but because the St. Louis Cardinals won the World Series. No, I'm not a Cardinals fan. I didn't watch it, nor do I care. What I do care about is that this moment right now is the longest point in time before baseball returns. So crack open a beer, everybody, and celebrate. Good riddance baseball for at least a couple months, and with basketball out of the way too, it's all football for a while. Well, maybe not for a while, because it is week 9 already. Week 9? Really? Unfortunately, yes, we only have another month of regular season left to go. So the Colorado game last week was what? The most daunting competition Oregon faced last Saturday was the birthday cake that the Michael carried into the stadium. Let's be honest. If Chip had wanted to, the Ducks could have probably put up 100. Colorado is just horrible. And with Utah floundering as well, Pac-12, huh? How's that really working out for us? Colorado and Utah, does that really add much to the conference? So there's really not much to get worth going into detail about that game against Colorado. It was like watching a college team play a junior college team. Just absolute slaughter. Brian Bennett looked pretty comfortable, especially running the ball. He's a lot better at the zone read mesh than Thomas is. Barner ran well, and holy crap, Josh Kaddu went crazy. He was in on damn near every play. He had 13 tackles and 2 sacks in the first half. That's like Charles Jefferson from the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High playing against Lincoln. Just every play, there's Josh Kaddu. Also, Ifo Ekpre-Olomu looked fantastic. I've been so impressed with him. For a true freshman, he is the best pure cover corner true freshman that we've seen since Jackie Bates in 2004. In fact, the only thing worse than Colorado last Saturday was the announcing crew for Fox Sports Root. Wow. From the opening snap to the final play, it was almost painful having to listen to those idiots spew their stupidity. I sent a text to Charles, Fishduck, after the first quarter and told him that I felt dumber for having watched this game. They thought D'Anthony Thomas was actually quarterback Duron Thomas running fly sweeps, and Nick Aliata sure does call a good defensive game. I think I set a new personal record for the number of face palms in this game. Every time those putzes opened their mouths, I asked myself why I hadn't just muted the game already. This sums up my feelings on the announcing crew from the Colorado game last week just about perfectly.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, and Brian Baldinger and Joel Myers, sad to say, will be in Oregon this Saturday to cover the broadcast of the Washington State-Oregon game, too. We get the same crew, the same bunch of morons, all over again. Oh, and then there's Uncle Cliffy Woo Cash Nacho Harris. Quite the week he's had. First, he single-handedly destroyed the defense's shutout with one of the most boneheaded punt returns I've ever seen.
Harris over the shoulder for some reason is going to take it, and
They got points.
what a mistake. Points on the board by way of safety.
Then he gets ticketed for driving on a suspended license and not wearing a seatbelt. He did get his license reinstated, and he did get suspended again, indefinitely. Hey Cliff, here's an idea. Go lock shit down on the bike paths around Eugene for a while, please. Stay off the roads, get a bike, because this whole car thing is really detrimental to your career. Okay, on to Washington State. The Cougs are the Cougs. They are improved from what they have been in recent years, but this team still has a long ways to go, and unfortunately they're dealing with some injury woes. Their defense has improved, but offense is an issue. They have no offensive line, and their quarterback Jeff Toole, who I think is fantastic, he's very underrated, quality guy who stands in the pocket, takes a lot of shots, but delivers the ball downfield. Unfortunately, he's likely out for the remainder of the season, so it's Marshall Lobestall who's taking over starting on Saturday and probably for the foreseeable future for Washington State. Now, the Cougars do feature the best wide receiver in the country that nobody knows about, Marquez Wilson. You're going to see a lot of him on Saturday. Kid is a flat-out stud. He will be a big-time NFL player, but he's really their only legit offensive weapon. So expect a lot of throws his way. Think kind of a repeat of how the Nevada game played out, where it seemed like almost every single play was a ball being thrown in the general direction of Rashard Matthews. Expect to see Oregon double Wilson wherever he goes on the field, and Ducks are going to bring the house against their Swiss cheese offensive line. Expect Josh Cadeau, Terrell Turner, Deion Jordan to be in the backfield a lot for this game. This one's going to be a laugher. Whether it's Thomas or Bennett, the Michael or Barner, it's not going to matter. I say Ducks 56, Washington State, give them 10 maybe. That being said, this game will be Bennett and Barner, not Thomas and the Michael. Thomas says he's 100%, but there's no need to play him in this one unless there's an injury to Brian Bennett. Last week, Washington State lost to Oregon State. OSU, the same team that lost to Sacramento State. And oh, by the way, how awesome is it that for the next decade we get to hold Sac State over Beef Trash's heads? Anytime they want to talk trash, all you have to do is say Sac State, and it's going to shut them up. They won't have it. There are a few vaguely interesting subplot storylines that I'm sure the announcers will rehash over and over again because they won't have anything better to talk about in this huge blowout win that Oregon's going to have. One, the wicked hit that Barner took versus Washington State last year. They gave him a concussion. I'm sure they're going to talk about it endlessly. Two, Washington State's fake injuries in the game last year will be rehashed, probably followed by a random reference about the Cal game. And three, the announcers will be complete morons, just like they were last week. This weekend, I'm working on the next DuckTales article for Fishduck.com, creating a new highlight video for AJ Tuatele, and I'm training 2 new volunteers for Fishduck.com. Now, we are actively pursuing interns and volunteers to help out with the website. So, if you are interested in joining the Fishduck team, please get in touch with Charles or myself at the email addresses shown here. Charles@fishduck.com, Kurt@fishduck.com. We are specifically looking for people who have experience with HTML and computer coding, Photoshop and graphic design, video editing, social media, or clothing, retail, fashion design. But we can always use more help, so if you're interested in being part of the team, please contact us. We at Fishduck got an email this week from the wide receivers coach and recruiting coordinator at Villanova University saying that he loves Charles's videos and has used them to teach their players on the finer points of blocking in a spread offense. That wasn't the only one. We've heard from high school coaches and junior college coaches as well. It's been a fascinating ride since the site launched in early August, and really we're just getting started. And it's pretty amazing. It's been going on too. People have been bugging me about videos again, that I'm not posting a lot of videos. Well, for one, I started a new job. It's really long hours. 2, I'm doing all this content for Fishduck now. And 3, it's time consuming. So people need to keep that in mind. Look, I'm getting to it. I want to do it, it's just a matter of when I can find time. There is so much on my plate right now, it's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, you know, fans have been sending me VHS tapes of old Duck games that I didn't already have, and I appreciate it, thank you very much. But I'm in overload for stuff I have to do. I mean, look at this. These are all games from the 1991 season. 1991, Washington State, USC, Cal, Texas Tech, Utah. I've got 1992 down there. That's just one box of tapes that a fan has sent me. About another box of VHS tapes. All Oregon content that I need to go through and convert to DVDs, then highlight each of the individual plays that I want to upload, actually capture the footage, upload the videos, and then tag them and organize them into playlists. That's another box right there. Yet another box of games. Oh, there's like 70 videos here of old games that I'm still trying to go through. So if you're wondering why I haven't had videos up, I'm working on it. I'm trying to go through all of these tapes to build up the archives, and then there's going to be a ton of new videos coming up. But it's going to take time. I'm working on it. Be patient. And now, my random tweet of the week.
Hey, will you shut up?
Thank you.
Hey, will you shut up?
Thank you.
My music recommendation of the week is the king of nerdcore, MC Frontalot. If you're not familiar with nerdcore music, then I suggest you check out the awesome documentary Nerdcore Rising to get a feel for it and a full background on Frontalot. Now, nerdcore is a subgenre of indie hip-hop created by people who are rapping in clever, humorous, and sarcastic ways about nerdy things. Video games, computers, Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, and just everyday life stuff that you probably won't hear about on the next Jay-Z or Lil Wayne album. Frontalot was a computer programmer who started making songs rapping about the things he knew, and not only found an audience for his unique style, but inspired many others to pick up a mic as well. MC Chris, MC Paul Barman, and MC Lars, to name a few, have followed in this genre of hip-hop, following in MC Frontalot's steps. For people who like indie hip-hop with humor, intelligence, and covering themes that you will probably never hear in mainstream hip-hop, this music is for you. MC Frontalot has been doing this thing for about 12 years now, expanding nerdcore from an underground scene to the collective masses. It's now as big as ever. Enjoy.
Misplaced the ambient. First world problem. Left a participle dangling. First world problem. You're scheduling your root canal. First world problem. Your grad schooling had no rationale. First world problem. You didn't like your appetizer. First world problem. Your yacht got capsized. First world problem. Your yacht got capsized. The first world problem that you have with your yacht.
The living conditions of the American masses, that's you, are swiftly deteriorating. Our generation is going through the final convulsions of the dying world of capitalism. That's what it says here. And if you don't believe that pamphlet, try this one.
While our capitalism is in a minor kerfuffle, you have to hustle before the fates come reshuffle. Rustle up another couple grievances and air 'em. You can laugh about it later, maybe. Needed while the sparing for the moment, though. You ordered half-calf, didn't get it. There was no TV set when you jetted. Internet resetted itself just as I was in the middle of tournament play, and so I suffered from transmittal interruption. Completely ruined my day. MC Frontalot's a jackass, all I'm trying to say. People buy CDs in these days of disaster, so for me, I have to be a professional rapper. Have some sympathy. No bubbles in the soda cup. First world problem. App crash when you load it up. First world problem. Phone's OS is out of date. First world problem. Colors won't calibrate. First world problem. They never stock the snack you want. First world problem. Caught herpes from a Cellbutone. First world problem. You caught herpes from a Cellbutone. That magnificent creature.
So that's it for this week. Easy game on Saturday. Just stay healthy. That's the important thing. I don't expect Thomas or LaMichael to play. Ducks don't need them. And bring on Washington next week. Until next time, this is Kurt saying, Go Ducks.